Where am I? Wasn't I just falling? Just what was I, and what was I trying to do? And just what was going on with the world? My heart palpitates in my chest. I feel nauseous. My whole body is drenched with sweat. The feeling only makes me sicker. The sensation of the sheets. Are they really here? Is the one touching them really me? If that's the case, then I'm alive today as well. Today as well? The fact that I can say that means... It's morning. I'm greeted by the usual familiar scenery that hasn't changed at all. This is my bedroom in my house. That loud ringing isn't an ambulance's siren, but my alarm clock. The time is 10 minutes to 7 a.m. It hurts to breathe. I'm panting like I just ran a 100-meter dash. I might have screamed the moment I woke up. My mind can clearly recall the memory of me having a bad dream, but as for what kind of dream it was specifically, I can't remember a thing. All I know is that it was a dreadful, sad, and hopeless vision. Just how long has it been since the nightmare made me scream like that? When I was a kid, stuff like that would happen all the time. Someone would have a terrifying dream, wake up while crying, and then would immediately run over to me as I stroked their head while comforting them. Just who was that? It doesn't matter who it was, does it? I'm already a high school student, an adult. I should be completely over such an effeminate thing. Well, I don't know if a high school student is really an adult, but okay. I take several deep breaths to try to calm myself down. I feel my memories and sense of reality returning little by little. Even so, I can't help but feel that everything surrounding me seems hollow. It's like the sensation of seeing the world through a sheer veil, or the sensation of viewing the affairs of some foreign nation through a monitor. I'm a step removed from all of that. I open the curtains, and the morning sunlight pierces through the window. It's the gentle spring rays of the late April sunlight. I get out of bed and slowly stretch. At the tip of my outstretched hand is my alarm clock. I stop the ear-grating beeping as if I'm strangling a small animal to death. Finally. Just then, the date of on the clock catches my eye. 32:04:26, Monday. Now, this is in Japanese date order, so it's year, month, day. So, 2032, April 26th. Today is just the start of another day of boring school life.
皆さん、おはようございます。4月26日月曜日、朝7時のニュースです。
When I come down to the living room, I find someone unexpected.
本日未明、午前0時12分から約1分半、都市部のほとんどのコンピューターが沈黙しました。以降も数分から1時間程度、原因不明の異常動作が続きました。
That middle-aged man glances at me while fastening his tie.
ああ、ひなたか。今日は早いな。
父さん。
Although I'm standing stock still, my voice comes out naturally. Yes, my name is Aoi Hinata. Oh, and by the way, that's in Eastern name order, where the surname comes first, just so you know. This man is my father, Aoi Mitsuhiko.
多くのサーバーが停止し、その影響でネットワークが各所で寸断されました。アクセス数が多い時間帯であったため、一時ネット内は大混乱に陥りました。
Everything is controlled by computers connected through the net, electricity, water, and phone utilities, residential, public, and city security systems, student and citizen registries, and other control systems of all kinds. Nowadays, the idea of using a computer has become less and less of a conscious concept in the public eye, as use of computers has become more and more natural. It's not necessarily a good thing. Mobile phones are also becoming convenient access terminals. The use of cash has also declined, as most people now use electronic money. My dad's gaze is completely engulfed by the gaudy news title on screen. Last night's widespread disaster, a new form of cyber terrorism?
問い合わせの殺到によって、携帯の電話回線は一時期パンク状態になりました。短時間の停電、乗用車のオートナビゲートの支障がこれに重なりました。
All the news related to those incidents flows gently out of the talking heads. Nowadays, computers are readily available at all times. Even now, in this society where it's normal for computers to be used in every facet of our daily lives, there are still people who get addicted to the net. Really?
送電の停止で帰宅途上の市民が30分ほど電車に閉じ込められました。電子系トラブルは枚挙にいとまがなく、火災、自動車事故が頻発しました。重軽傷者の報告は現在でも相次ぎ、すでに100名を超えています。死者も3名を数えています。
Well, that's not good. When you get to the point where people can die just because computers are malfunctioning, it's probably time to reevaluate things, yeah. The names and ages of the deceased begin to slide down the screen as subtitles. But it's only a list of letters and numbers. They don't even feel real. They're just some other people's affairs.
ネットワーク社会を震撼させる事件でしたが、不具合自体は極めて短時間であったため、現在ごく一部のサーバーを除いて、ネットはほぼ平常に復旧しています。
My dad picks up a cup sitting on the table and slowly gulps its contents down.
まだ犯行声明は出ていませんが、関連筋では近年世間を騒がせているサイバーテロリスト、コードの関与も囁かれています。
A local cyber terrorist organization that's been causing trouble recently. Its members commit their crimes with glee, their methods gaudy and cruel. It's clear the organization precipitates these misdeeds, but their goals are unknown. Rather than the morning news, the report sounds more like something you'd hear out of an afternoon talk show. Since the cause of all of this is still unknown, it just feels like nothing more than a show spouting wild speculations.
クラッカー集団コードは様々な公的機関、公共施設、企業を狙って大胆なハッキングを繰り返していますが、誰一人として逮捕されていません。
Hacking. What hackers do to explore new computer-related paths. A way for them to test their skills and push the limits of bleeding-edge technology. Hacker, originally referred to experts in technology, particularly computers. Hackers, also called white hats, find great joy at pushing the limits of technology. Therefore, they love circumventing supposedly impregnable net security systems, but they have no interest in actually destroying the system itself. They are the adventurers of the computer world. The hacker ideology generally promotes the free sharing of information by expanding the public domain to encompass all intellectual property. Hackers generally frown on businesses that profit by exploiting intellectual property laws to restrict information and may go out of their way to obtain copies of this restricted information. For this reason, the distinction between hackers and crackers has been lost to many, but hackers really hate being placed in the same category as crackers. The differences between the two are myriad. Hackers follow an unspoken moral code that they will never use their skills for malicious purposes and will only use them to honorably pursue a noble goal. A true hacker never believes what they're doing is malicious. They just pursue the truth and possibilities technologies can offer. Unfortunately, it can be said that true hackers are long gone. Crackers, also called black hats, are the opposite, utilitarianistic and destructive. Hackers frequently call themselves wizards, which evokes images of the never-ending struggle between the magic users of legend, white magic clashing against black magic. So this is fairly accurate. I don't know if all people who call themselves I don't know if everyone that I would consider a hacker conforms to this definition exactly, but it's a pretty good definition, I think. Because the true nature of their goals remains unknown, the group's cultivated more mystique than it deserves. So for the press, they're the perfect subject matter to attract viewers' interest. You could say that it's only natural that such a mysterious group could be related to bizarre incidents like this one.
警察当局はこの可能性も視野に入れて情報を募り、捜査に乗り出しています。今後のためにも一日も早い事件の全容解明が願われます。
It seems Dad has finished drinking his coffee as he places his cup in a bowl overflowing with water. After that, he immediately puts on a business suit that's hanging from a clothes hanger.
じゃあ、私は行ってくるからな。
Dad picks up a hard silver watch from the living room table and fastens it around his left wrist. It's a chronograph that displays the moon's age. I'm pretty sure Dad said that it was supplied to him by his company. It might be a handcuff of sorts that binds Dad to his job.
Hinata.
Just before he leaves the room, Dad turns around and calls out to me. In spite of the fact that it's morning, his tired, despondent eyes are trying to search for something within me.
はい。
In order to mask everything, I stifle my emotions and answer in a smooth, robotic voice.
学校はどうだ？
What's his ulterior motive in asking that? He's definitely probing for something with it, but it all comes off as extremely annoying.
普通です。問題はありません。うまくやっています。
そうか。
His voice is full of disappointment. I quickly begin to append my statement.
はい。僕に心配はいりませんよ、父さん。
そうだな。
Dad averts his gaze, and then...
今夜は遅くなる。ことによると泊まりになるかもしれない。
Isn't that how it always is? Though I think that, a different answer comes out of my mouth.
大変だね。
私のことはいいんだ。だが。
I really don't feel like starting my day off with this pathetic scene.
早く行かないと遅刻するよ。
ああ。
I can't stand this atmosphere.
じゃあ夕食はいつものように適当に済ませておきなさい。先に休んでくれていいから。
I would have done that even if you hadn't said anything. That's all I've been doing up until now, and all I'll be doing in the future.
じゃあな。
いってらっしゃい。
Even a short conversation like that saps me of my willpower. I head for the dining room, which is directly connected to the living room. In it is a table that seats 4 people, but there's no one there. They're all vacant seats, including my own. Mom's not here, and the other seat is for... My eyes turn to the inner room's door. My eyes seem to be hoping that a certain someone will come out of that room, even though I know that's impossible. To the current me, this is a meaningless, wide, empty space. The day all of us gather to eat here will be the day that pigs fly. Because ever since that time, everything's changed. I eat some cereal and a yogurt. It has no taste, but as long as it gives me the minimum amount of nutrition I need, it's fine. There's no other meaning to eating other than replenishing energy after all. That's what I've thought from the start. It feels as if my existence here is some kind of mistake, like I came from another world and need to keep this body alive until I can get back. It sure as hell seems that way, like I'm a disguised alien spy from another planet whom no one understands. I'm sure if you were to peel off the skin, you'd find my surprising true form hidden behind it. That delusion grows more extravagant with each passing day. Yes, it's been 2 years since that time. That event was what caused everything to go amiss.
事件が最もピークだった時間帯、一体何が起こったと思います？
As I'm changing into my school uniform, I unconsciously shift my gaze to the TV. I'd forgotten that Dad never turned it off, just as I think I should try changing the channel.
じゃー見てください。これが昨夜午前0時12分。 月食が最大になった状態の月です。
Ah, what's wrong with you, Hinata? All of a sudden, nausea and a headache descend on me. I can't stand.
およそ3年ぶりに日本で皆既月食が観測されました。珍しく月食の全行程が観測できたんですね。
That nails on chalkboard voice is only making my headache worse and worse. You might not, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but there's a slight shaking up and down effect.
昔は突然の異常事態として騒がれていた月食ですが、今回はネットの異常を招いてしまったそうです。まあ、因果関係はわからないんですけど。
I reach my hand out for the remote.
今ではサロス周期の発見によって数年ごとにやってくる天体イベントとして親しまれています。次の月食は今年の10月。
A migraine strikes my right temple. Ever since she vanished, everything's gone to hell for me. On the outside, I may seem like I've gotten considerably accustomed to it, but it seems that's not the case at all. The incidents on the net, the timing matches up with the lunar eclipse. Cyber terrorism. So what's changed? No matter how much they make a fuss of it, in the end, it's just an event occurring on the other side of the monitor. It's not important at all.
本日は都内全般にわたって快晴となるでしょう。降水確率は 0%、雨の心配はありません。
傘はいらないな。
That's the only important piece of information I need. Kocho, a quiet, clean, and orderly new residential area in Musashino. The blocky architecture infuses the area with an unnatural calm, removed from the annoyances of reality. We know nothing about the 20th century that adults are so nostalgic about. Almost 1/3 of the 21st century has already passed. Even so, the scenery of those futuristic cyber cities seen in old sci-fi movies are still nowhere to be seen. In a way, it may be for the best. There are no roads enveloped in pipes, and buildings look pretty much the same as they did 30 years ago. If anything, all things retro have come back in style. Bicycles continue to be propelled across the ground by their spinning rubber tires, and not even the proposals for implementing maglev trains are looking too good. Space travel is still just a dream. Aside from astronauts and a few VIPs, we can't even get to the moon. Lunar excursion, an exclusive experience that only astronauts and a select few of the upper class can enjoy. Now that would be interesting. But yeah. Pretty exclusive, even in this story. If we're talking about the one thing that has changed, then it would be electronic networks. I don't know about home computers, but even microcomputers built into cell phones rival the abilities of workstations decades ago. Infrastructure for high-speed communications and endless content pervades our daily lives as if it were as natural as the air around us, completely escaping our awareness until it suddenly disappears. Kocho is managed by computer networks much like the ones in urban centers. From living necessities like electricity and water to luxuries like consumer electronics and security management, it's actually harder nowadays to find something that isn't connected to the net. If you wanted to, you could check up on the status of anything connected to the net with a single command. It's like seeing through the eyes of God. That's how we peer down on the world through the net. That's interesting. The world is gradually transmuting into a miniature garden. Before long, even humans will become a part of the net.
Ohayo! Hinata!
As I walk, lost in these vague thoughts of mine, someone calls out to me from behind.
今日も遅刻しないで来てるな。感心感心。
Now, take a look at this outfit. I guess this is some sort of future fashion, but yeah, it's like they got this thing that's almost a necktie, and then you got two others on the sleeves, and it's like it couldn't decide which layer should be on top. Oh boy. When I turn around, I'm confronted by the smiling face of Kawahara Sakuya, my childhood friend. Even though it's so early in the morning, she's in incredibly high spirits. I can practically feel another headache descending on me. Of all the times to run into this troublesome girl, as I'm thinking this,
こら、朝の挨拶はどうしたの？ちゃんと起きてる？ご飯食べた？
ああ、うん。あ？いって。起きてる。食べた。頼むから耳引っ張るなよ。
damn it, we've been together for so long that she never shows me any restraint. Someone, please do something about this barbaric girl.
元気ないな。ちゃんと顔洗ってきた？
洗ってきたよ。
だって、ほら、眠そうな目。
生まれつきだって。
そうだっけ？ほら、目やについてる。ああ、もうネクタイ曲がってる。
取る。直す。もう、自分でできるよ。僕に構うなっての。
Sakuya is always like this. Even though we're the same age, she treats me like a kid and fusses over every little thing without a second thought. She won't hesitate to scold me when she sees a problem either.
僕は咲夜の息子じゃないし、咲夜は僕の母さんじゃない。
Unable to bear it any longer, I let the words slip out of my mouth.
は？当たり前じゃない、そんなの。
いや、そういう意味じゃなくて。
ほら、だからそこ寝癖ついてるって。頭貸しな。
What the hell? Why did things turn out like this? But, well, whatever. Objecting to her will just be a pain in the ass. Nevertheless, we've known each other for a long time. We met each other before entering kindergarten, and that was over 10 years ago. I guess it's one of those so-called inseparable relationships.
なんだか少し顔色悪いよ。
そう。
うん。
Is it because of that bad dream I had?
いつもこうだろ。
そっかな。そんなことないと思うけどな。
いいからほっとけ。
ほっとけないよ。だってひなたってぼーっとしてて頼りないんだもん。
自分のことは自分でできる。僕は咲夜より成績だっていい。
それは言わないでよ。
But I know that grades don't show the whole picture. After walking for a bit, we arrive at the bus stop. There's a sign there that says Kocho District Stop. The information display column in the center of the sign isn't showing anything right now. I checked the time on my cell phone. 7:28. That's odd. It should be here by now.
ねえねえ、昨日の月食見た？すごかったね。
うん。見たような見てないような。
はっきりしないな。
ほら、赤くなってくやつだろ。
そうそう。月食っていうから日食みたいに真っ黒になると思ったんだけど、怖くなるくらいに赤くなって、もううっとり。
怖いなら見なきゃいいのに。
ほら、そこは乙女心ってことで、その魔力に釘付けになってしまうのよね。
何言ってるんだか。
だってほら、初めて皆既月食の全工程が見られたんだもん。
全工程？
そうだよ。かけ始めてから全部影で覆われて、それから元に戻るまで。
そんな物好きな。一体何十分かかるんだよ。
いいじゃない。時間を忘れて見とれてたからそんなのわかんないよ。でもそういうこと言うひなただって見てたんでしょ？
たまたまだよ。なんとなくっていうか。
嬉しい。
なんで？
なんでもないの。ねえねえ、ひなたのお月様見てて怖くなった？
そんなことあるわけ。
Well, that's a bit creepy.
どうしたの？
いや、なんでもない。大丈夫。
It'll hurt even more if I keep thinking about it. Why is it that I have such painful headaches every time the topic of the total lunar eclipse comes up? Yes, why indeed?
そう？
寝不足なだけだから。
もう、本当に心配だな。
Suddenly, I looked towards the bus stop sign. I hadn't noticed, but the bus had already made its stops at the previous stations and is now heading this way. It's almost 7 to 8 minutes late. Still, it seems like we'll make it on time.
そういえば、月食のせいでいろんな事件が起きてるんだよね。
そうとは限らない。
宇宙と地球は見えない力でつながってるってことだよね。神秘的。
Yeah, it's called gravity.
いや、僕の話を。
でも、昨日みたいに事故になっちゃうんだったら、つながってても嫌だな。
まあいいんですけどね、別に。
もしかして日向の頭痛も同じ原因だったりして。
え？
The cause? What is? How is it? In what way? My mind just isn't able to process the thoughts. Why would trouble on the net and my headaches be connected?
それにしても、バス遅いな。
Geez, you're dropping the topic of the lunar eclipse and my headaches just like that? Why is it that the creatures known as women can just change the topic at the drop of a hat without missing a beat?
もう来るよ。
どうして？ほんとだ！すごい！
No, it's not amazing at all. I say nothing and decide to get on the bus. Because of the delay, it's more crowded than usual. Could it be that this screw-up in the schedule was also due to the eclipse yesterday?
ここ空いてるよ。早く来ないと他の人に座られちゃうんだからね。
Didn't I get on the bus before her? Huh? She probably passed me in that moment I was thinking. Still, she's amazing when it comes to nabbing seats. It's clear as day that she'll be a master by the time she's joined the battalion of middle-aged women. Yeah, that's a bit strange. I have a feeling that'll come up eventually. I haven't. I didn't mention that I finished this route and got partway through the second one, but I still haven't seen any answer to this particular mystery, if it is anything to be concerned about. Anyway.
座れてよかったね。
うん。
寝不足なら私にもたれて眠っちゃってもいいんだよ。着いたら起こしてあげるから。
うん。ありがとう。
I avoid eye contact as I say this.
発車します。お立ちの方はお近くの手すりかつり革にしっかりおつかまりください。